Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Benny Auto Parts. It's Friday morning at the shop, finishing up a very productive week. Some of the things we've done this week, we have gotten balanced three 347 Ford stroker assemblies. We've got one of those engine assemblies assembled, rotating assembly installed. We've gotten a 383 rotating assembly installed, had it balanced. It's ready to go. So we've got two ready to deliver to the customer, hopefully today. It's been some bad weather, as most of you know. We've had over 5 inches of rain the last 2 days. So hopefully we can start drying out a little bit today, and some of these customers can get out and start moving around and picking up some of the machine work that's ready. So we're leading into the next build that we're going to highlight. We've been talking about this for a few weeks now. Is this Pontiac 400. We actually got started assembling it yesterday. We've got the crankshaft installed. All main bearing clearances have been checked. Cranks laid in it, torqued down. Got the camshaft installed and the timings installed. So we're going to be working on this weekend. Probably do a little work on it tomorrow, Saturday, and then we'll hopefully get it kind of completely assembled next week. So possibly we could run it on the engine stand a week from tomorrow. That's our plan. Of course, you know how plans go. Sometimes you get curveballs thrown at you, but not so much with the build of the engine, but other things that happen in the shop. So it's been a very busy week. We've got a lot accomplished. So with that being said, let's talk about this little 400 Pontiac. This is a unique engine, and it's a 70 Trans Am. This is actually a 4-bolt main Pontiac block. You don't see a whole lot of 4-bolt main Pontiacs. As you can see right here, it's got 4 here, 4 here, 4 here. So basically, when you say 4-bolt main, it's the center 3 that are the 4 bolts. Front and the back one is still a 2-bolt. And the reason for the 4 bolts in the center, it gives you more support to the crankshaft, less flexibility. These engines make a lot of torque. They're not really high revving engines, but they got a lot of bottom end torque, mid-range torque. So that's one of the reasons for the 4-bolt block. It's a very nice feature. Like I said, it's kind of rare in a Pontiac. Fortunately for the customer, this is one of those. So he's in good shape with that. So let's kind of highlight what we've done. Of course, cranks installed, got the camshaft installed, got the customer's timing chain and gear installed, got it set to timing. This is the eccentric right here that drives the mechanical fuel pump. It bolts right on the front of the cannon here. So I'm gonna rotate this some for you and show you how good it rotates. Of course, we just kind of take a little old wrench right there and just spin it. You see it really rotates really good. And for reference, we've got some timing marks on here. I'll get around those. So you can see right here, David will zoom in on it. All right, so what we do, we've got the mark on the cam gear and we've got the mark on the crankshaft gear. And we align those. This one goes at 12 o'clock. This one goes at 6 o'clock. And basically what that does, it puts the camshaft in time with the crankshaft so that the valves are opening at the correct time in the 360-degree rotation. As you can see, it turns really good. It's got a real good fit on the bearings, which is what we like to see. So this is about ready now for some pistons and rings and rods and rod bearings, which we've got those laid out right here. So I got the 8 pistons and rods for the customer that we're going to install. Main bearing boxes. Of course, the main bearings are already in it, but we use just to show you, we use model Cleveland bearings. Probably the best bearing on the market. We're going to use this particular piston takes a Federal Mogul steel power rings, real nice rings, and we'll put those on it. And of course, here are the rod bearings. we're using Cleveite rod bearings as well. So we're going to get that everything hooked up and installed this weekend. So we'll have good rotating assembly. One other note that I'll highlight real quick. Of course, you can't see it, but Pontiacs typically come with a rope seal. In other words, the rear crankshaft seal is the old style rope design. It's not a real good design. They've come out with lip type seals that are much better and they seal much better. So what we do is we go on to Butler Performance, and Butler Performance makes a one-piece rear lip seal. Basically, it's a seal. It's about about this big around. You basically cut that seal in half, and you slink it around the crankshaft, and then it has a groove that it fits in. So you just drop it down in the groove, put a little sealer on it, and where you cut it, it goes right back together. You put that cut right at the top of the block, so that it's out of any oil travel passages. So you put that in there, you lay the crankshaft in it, then you put your main bearing cap on it, and it gives you a real good positive seal. Try and stop those oil leaks on the back of Pontiacs. Pontiacs are notorious for leaking a little bit of oil around the rear seal, and some of the reason for that was the rope seals. Basically, it's basically a special rope that fits into the main journal on the block and the main journal on the cap, and it squeezes around the crankshaft, and you're dependent on that thing to seal over time because it actually gets soaked with oil. It stays soaked with oil just to keep it from tearing up. But anyway, that's one of the upgrades and updates that we've done for this customer on this engine, trying to eliminate that rear seal leak. We've had pretty good success with it. This is probably the fourth or fifth one we've used. It's an expensive part, but oil leaks are not good. They're expensive too. So you try to do everything you can to eliminate oil leak. So we go that extra mile. We spend that little bit extra to get the customer satisfied that he doesn't have any oil leaks. So that's it for right now for this week. Stay tuned. We're going to continue through this build. We're going to put the pistons and rods and main bearing or crank bearings and rod bearings and all that stuff into the engine this weekend. And hopefully, when we come back to you next Friday, we'll have a pretty much complete assembled engine ready to get it on the engine running stand for the customer so he can get this thing picked up. I know the car's ready for it. I mentioned before, it said you're going in a all original 1970 Pontiac TransAm. Little history that actually I didn't realize, but after talking to this guy, I guess it's possible. I always thought that Transams all came with 455s in them, but evidently they don't. This particular one, is 70 model, is a 400 engine. And it is the original engine to the car. So a couple things just as we close. Of course, it's painted correct Pontiac blue silver color. That's the color it came from the factory. We've upgraded the freeze plug. We've put brass freeze plugs in this engine for the customer. They're much more resistant to corrosion from the inside out. So, this is probably a car that's not going to be driven a whole lot, but it is going to be driven some. And as it sits, we don't want any corroding and possible rusting holes into the freeze plug. So that's one of the upgrades we do for the customers. With that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this little short video about this build. We're excited about it. We're going to try and get everything finished up for this next week, get it on the engine stand and get it running and let you check it out once we get it running. As we go through the process, we'll continue to highlight it and do some video on it. And Mr. Customer, you know who you are if you're watching. I hope you're excited that we're finally getting started. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you again next week, and have a great weekend. Thank you.